So MLA in-text citations can be frustrating if you don't know where to look for help. And this video is going to show you exactly where to look for help. And I'm going to talk about a couple of tricky situations that you'll probably find yourself in at least once in the rest of your college career. So let's take a look at first, how would you cite an article, or how would you cite something that you found in an article that doesn't have an author? Because remember, MLA format requires the author's last name and the page number. So let's take a look here. I have an article titled "What Americans Worry About," and as I go through this, I think it's interesting that 89% of drivers are worried about getting into an accident with another distracted driver. And as I go through this article and I look, there's actually no author on this. So how would I cite this? And notice, I do have page numbers, and here's page 47, so this is page 46, but no author. So if you're ever lost on what to do with MLA formatting, just Google OWL at Purdue MLA. And we're working on in-text citations, so I'm going to hit the MLA in-text citations basics button. And here it gives us formatting for each type of MLA in-text citation that we might run into. There's the basic rule, the author page style, known authors, corporate authors, and then look what comes up here. In-text citation for a print source with no author. And it tells us, if you don't have an author, use a shortened title of the work instead of the author. And it gives you an example here. So you do a shortened version of the article title and the page number if it's available. So let's take a look here. The article is called "What Americans Worry About Most." The piece of information I like is that they worry about getting into an accident with a distracted driver, and it's on page 46. So let's take care of that now. 89% of drivers are worried about getting into an accident with another distracted driver, and I found this in an article called "What Americans Worry About." And then I found it on page 46, so I give the number, and I end it with a period. And that's all there is to it if you don't have an author. Now, let's take a look at another tricky in-text situation that you're going to run into at some point. And this is, how do you cite research that you found within your research? This is called an indirect source. And I'll show you what I mean here. So here, I have this article called "Curbing Texting While Driving," and it was written by Michael E. Brotzis. And as I was reading it, I found that nearly 1/3 of high school students are texting while behind the wheel, according to a survey conducted by Eaton et al. And so Michael E. Brotzis quoted Eaton and several others who found this out. And so if I wanted to put this in my paper, I would have to make sure and give credit where credit is due. And so let's take a look at the OWL at Purdue, and it will show us how to do this. So we scroll down, and somewhere after, I think, learning how to cite the Bible, it will show us how to cite an indirect source. And so in order to cite research you found within research, you have to give credit to the person who actually did the research, and you have to give credit to the person whose text you read. And so I will show you how to do that. Notice down here, QTD, which means quoted in the text that you actually read, in page number. So let's look at how to do this. Okay, so here's the piece of information that I actually want to use. 1/3 of high school students are texting while behind the wheel. And somebody named Eaton and several others conducted a survey of 1,500 high school seniors that indicates 1/3 of them. Okay, so let's give credit to Eaton first, because Eaton is the one who actually did the research. And we know that because Eaton is cited right here. So Eaton did the research. So let's give Eaton credit. So let's see, how about this? Eaton et al. Conducted a survey of 15,000 high school seniors, right, that indicated that 1/3 of high school students are texting while behind the wheel. And then notice the OWL at Purdue tells us, in addition to telling the reader who did the research, you have to tell us, where did you find it? Quoted in? Where is it quoted? Well, ours is quoted in Brotzis. and it's on page 70. So let's make that clear. We would do quoted in Broadsis, page 70, and close it off. So notice what we've done here. We've told the reader that somebody named Eaton et al. Et al. Just means and others. If you had two names, if it was Eaton and Smith, you would just put Eaton and Smith, something like that. Okay, so notice it flows. Eaton et al. Conducted a survey of 15,000 high school seniors that indicated that 1/3 of high school students are texting while behind the wheel. Where did you find it? I found this quoted in Broadsis on page 70. The long and short of this lesson really is that you just have to get used to using the OWL at Purdue, because whatever MLA questions you have, you can actually find the answers on the OWL at Purdue if you're just willing to take the time to click on some of these links and actually read through all of the headings until you find the situation that you're stuck in.